This video is about Symphony No. 8 by Ludwig van Beethoven. I will explain the most important things about the work and the composer. Ludwig van Beethoven was a famous German composer who lived from 1770 to 1827. He composed the Seventh Symphony between 1811 and 1812, a time when he was already affected by his progressive deafness. Despite his health problems, Beethoven created many important works during this period. The Seventh Symphony is known for its energy and use of rhythms that make the work particularly lively. Beethoven himself held this symphony in high regard and considered it to be one of his best works. The Seventh Symphony was first performed in Vienna on December 8, 1813. Beethoven conducted the concert himself, although he was almost deaf by this time. The concert was a benefit concert for soldiers who had fought against Napoleon. The music was enthusiastically received by the audience, especially the second movement, the Allegretto, which was so popular that it had to be repeated. This positive reaction shows how much Beethoven's music could touch people. Beethoven's Seventh Symphony consists of 4 movements. Each movement has its own character and style. The first movement, poco sostenuto vivace, begins slowly and then becomes fast and lively. The second movement, allegretto, is quieter and is often perceived as very emotional. The third movement, presto, is fast and seems like a cheerful dance. The fourth and final movement, allegro con brio, is again very fast and brings the symphony to a powerful conclusion with a lot of energy. Beethoven's Seventh Symphony has had a strong influence on the music world. It is known for its rhythmic power and ability to evoke strong emotions. Many composers after Beethoven were inspired by this symphony. The music shows Beethoven's talent for expanding and changing traditional musical forms. Even today, the Seventh Symphony is an important part of classical music and is often played at concerts. The second movement of the symphony, the allegretto, is one of the most famous parts of the work. It has a simple, but very effective musical theme that is varied throughout the movement. This movement shows how Beethoven was able to express deep feelings with few musical means. The allegretto is not only popular with classical music fans, but is also used in films, TV series, and even in commercials. After its first performance, Beethoven's Seventh Symphony was met with mixed reviews. Some critics found the symphony too unusual and too new. Others praised it as ingenious and groundbreaking. However, over time, the symphony has established itself as one of the great works in the history of music. Today, it is considered a masterpiece that is hard to surpass in terms of creativity and emotional depth. In the Seventh Symphony, Beethoven uses the possibilities of the orchestra in an innovative way. He uses different instruments to create certain moods and effects. Beethoven was known for taking small musical ideas and developing and varying them throughout a piece. This technique makes the music very dynamic and interesting. The Seventh Symphony is a good example of Beethoven's ability to write music that is both emotionally and structurally profound. Beethoven used a large orchestra for the Seventh Symphony, including flutes, oboes, clarinets, bassoons, horns, trumpets, timpani, and strings. This instrumentation allowed him to create a wide range of timbres and dynamics. The various instrumental groups are used throughout the symphony to support and develop the musical themes. The skillful use of instruments contributes greatly to the overall effect of the symphony. Beethoven's Seventh Symphony remains a central work in the world of classical music. Its vitality and emotional power continue to speak to people today. The symphony shows Beethoven's tireless search for new forms of musical expression and his influence on the history of music. It is proof of his ability to create great music that inspires generations of listeners. The Seventh Symphony is not only an important musical work, but also an example of the creative power of art.